Ah,
All right. Good morning.
so how are you guys?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I've been better.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks. I'm doing okay. It's been a very stressful time, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Did you go to California?
yep. But fortunately, our our boy Zach is taking responsibility to handle everything that has to be
Yeah.
out there, which is extensive.
Yeah. I didn't want to ask about that because I figured it was probably a difficult situation, but that's really good to hear. I'm glad that that's how it's going.
Yeah, we're uh, actually I've already received his ashes, uh,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and we're waiting for death certificates because you can't do anything without death certificates.
Right.
Um, and doesn't appear he had any assets whatsoever left at this point, except for his car. But
Right.
he has a quite nice Audi that was in pristine condition.
Well, that's good.
Uh,
Zach is taking care of that. And did
yeah,
he did he have any life insurance or anything like that?
well, unfortunately, he took his own life, so
Ah, She's
life
sorry to
insurance
find out.
is
Yeah.
out the window.
Oh, that's too bad.
I don't even know if he had any. We
Yeah.
didn't find any legal papers in his apartment, which was
Right.
in the most unbelievable chaos I have ever seen.
Wow.
Um,
Jeez. That's really sad. I'm sorry.
yeah, it was very sad.
Oh,
So fortunately, I sent Zach power of attorney and
right.
waiting for the death certificates. It takes them a couple of weeks to get those out, so can't do
Right.
anything without those.
Yeah.
So we're dealing, um,
Mm.
gradually doing better.
Yeah. It's going to take a while.
Yes,
It's
it
going
is.
to take a long time. That's all.
It's interesting. I have this has caused a number of people to talk to me about this that had never mentioned it before, but two of my students and our longtime fireplace cleaner all have told me in the last couple of days about losing children,
Mm.
Yeah.
and it's difficult. It's
Yeah.
difficult.
I can't imagine. I tried to put myself in that position with my little boy Jesse, and I couldn't even think of
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
I could possibly get through it.
Don't
It's
So
don't
beyond
go.
my best.
give yourself time, and the grief is never going to go away. It's only going to change a little bit, but it's always going to be there.
Yeah, I'm aware. So, um, I of course realize. Let's see. I haven't fixed original sound. That'll be a help. And I don't have my ting shawl. I'm not prepared for this class. But I am. Good. So, questions?
I wouldn't mind looking in detail again at gargoyles and shoot the arrow.
Oils and what?
And the last one, shoot the arrow,
Oh, yeah.
um, the body rotation and movement and the arm
Yep.
rotation. Um,
Okay. Bill?
No, nothing in particular. What Jeff suggests is just fine. Yeah. Plus a lot of other stuff that I'm sure use some refreshing.
I see. Okay. Well, let's do our standing work.
Yep.
And well, this class doesn't really get into opening and closing and the threading of the energy through all the joints in the body. That is, of course, what pulsing is working on, among other things. So, one of the things as you are going through the motions and the energetic focus in the standing work is to try to begin to get a even and constant flow throughout the entire body, not just throughout the entire body, but throughout every joint in the entire body. And that means 3 joints in every finger, 2 joints in the thumb, hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder, scapula, spine, and on. And of course the legs are the most difficult part, and the toes are difficult. And the one of the ways that you can judge that is beginning to be aware of the energy flowing to the 5 extremities, the toes and fingers and crown of the head simultaneously, and returning to the center simultaneously. So I only mention this as what you're working towards, not necessarily what you're capable of doing at the moment.
Fair enough.
Any question there? No. Okay. Let's do our standing. So beginning by stepping out to shoulders width, coming into center, and of course you always want to begin by just taking a few minutes of just standing and being aware of how your feet are merging into the earth, and your head is lifting to connect into the universe. Feeling the opening at the base of the skull, the armpits, the midriff, the quad, the back of the knees, and softening the feet. Being very aware of your breath, endeavoring to allow yourself to breathe as fully as you possibly can without effort. Opening the abdomen, sides, lower back, mid-back and kidneys. Upper back, aware of pulsing the heart as you do that. The whole body beginning to open and close. And even breathing on into the mind if you can. And flowing into the 8 gates. Endeavoring to keep all the movement continuous, but aware that the focus is not the physical movement, but the movement of the energy. Everything curved, rounded, spherical. So, um, looking at this section that you're interested in, Jeff, do you want me to start with the chopping down? Is that,
Yeah, that's a good spot.
or you want a gargoyle? Well, that's all right. We can,
No, that whole section, I could definitely use a review on the body rotation and the kicking and all that. So,
okay. So when we've completed that, as you're coming up, you're shifting onto the left foot and rotating right and stepping back with the right and covering the fist as you turn on the left heel. Keep rotating right as you shift onto the left and step with the right into your bow stance and shift forward to the chop. And then you're shifting back, turning right, shifting onto the right, stepping through, and going first to pung, jig, and then back, turning the left foot, shift to 100% on that left foot, extending the right arm, and sweep the right leg and step back. And as you do that, you're actually closing and bending in, and as you sink, you begin to extend out. And then you shift back, opening the hands, and maybe, and sweep the left leg back as you turn left, and rotate and shift back into gargoyles. And at this point, you're 100% on the left foot. And you then continue turning to the right, sweeping the right leg back, opening the arms, forming the fists as you go back, turning left, and allowing that left foot to rotate straight ahead into gargoyles. And then so back gargoyles. And then in this one, we simply shift forward and notice that this is a bending, and then as you get to 100%, you're going to do sweep the lotus with the right leg and step to the corner, bringing the hands up. And now you have already, at this point, when you place the foot, you've rotated all the way to that left front corner. And then you shift forward, straightening the spine as you go into sweep the lotus. I mean into stroke the beard.
Right.
So, questions in there?
not really. You clarified a few of them, but I'm still fuzzy also into shoot the arrow with the bow, as far as the shifting of the body in that one and the rotation of it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't go on into that, did I? So your weight is forward here. You begin to turn left and shift back and you're actually going down a little and then up slightly to raise the hands. And then the movement is just a shift forward to separate the arms.
When you say forward, are you saying that last shift is onto your right leg?
Out to what?
When you say your shift forward, this is where I'm a little confused on the shifting. Do you mean onto your right leg?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure which way you're swinging is forward at that point.
Yeah. And just to your dynamic limit, you're not going further.
So we're going from here, now we're shifting left, rotating, bringing the arms up, and then just a shift onto the right to pull the bow back.
Yeah. So
Spike it, so that we don't,
I'm
okay,
gonna turn and face it this way.
all right,
So if you're here,
yeah,
you're turning, shifting back, and then shift forward. And there's no rotation in the second part.
and in that first part, is there any sinking or rising to bring the arms up?
Yes, that's what I said before, that here there is a slight sink.
Oh, okay, I missed that part.
rise,
God, I missed
and
that
then
part.
just shift.
That's the part I've been missing because I wasn't sure what was bringing the arms up.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's good, that's helpful.
And at the end of that position, David, the hands and arms are at no farther up than chest level.
Yeah, let me turn this straight towards you. So you can see.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Notice that the elbows are lower than the wrist.
Yeah.
And really the hands are at about heart level,
Hmm.
but not overextended.
Okay.
On that last shift, do both arms move or just the right
Yes.
arm? Both arms, okay,
Boom, boom, boom,
okay, got it.
boom.
Yeah, see, I had a lot of questions in there as far as the specifics on sinking and rising, rotation, which arms are bending and, unbending.
Yep.
All right, that's much more helpful.
So what I'd like is for you guys to flow through that section, and I'm going to watch you one at a time.
Okay,
David, I'm going to have to bow out at about this point.
Oh, okay.
I have an appointment.
Okay. Well, I hope you're okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Okay.
But I've got to get on the road for an 11 o'clock appointment. So
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
yes, you will.
take care, Bill.
Yep.
Tomorrow,
See you, Jeff. Yeah. Well, yes. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
actually. Okay, good. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
I'll try and stay in camera view. Tell me if you can't see me.
Okay. Yeah. Um, so I think what we need to work on is gargoyles.
Okay,
Um, it appears that your feet and your body are pretty good, um, but I think I'd like to address the arms.
okay, that'll be good.
Um, so one of the things when you go into gargoyles
Yeah,
is the arms are bending in. It looked like yours were extending out.
okay,
So you have to think of the as you go into gargoyles, the
right.
arms are bending in
Uh,
so that they can have a sense of extending out.
what is the transition point from bending in to extending out? When does that happen? On the rotation back to the right?
So uh, they're bending in back to the step, and then as you rotate back onto the left foot, they're extending out. So it's not a very big movement.
Right.
A lot of this is internal. Okay? Um, and when you go to the other one, what you just did, and as you stepped back, was your arms went out.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, they're coming in
Okay.
so that they can go out again.
Okay.
And that in and out is very small, but if you think of it in terms of the twisting,
Right.
so in other words, when you're going from one side to the other, you're twisting in and then twisting out. That makes sense to you?
Yeah. In terms of energy, are the two going into the two gargoyles, are those both rollback, Lou? Or-
Um, that's one possibility. I'm not going to get, um, it's not the only possibility, let me put it that way. You could think of it that way, that would be fine. Um, I've lost you.
Yeah. All right. Let's try it again. Try to take smaller steps.
That's all right.
So that's out here. So we shift back onto the right, draw in,
Hmm.
rotate back, and then rotate and extend a little bit.
Yep,
And we draw in,
yep.
rotate. All right, here's a question. As we shift back, I'll ask it in a moment.
Okay.
Let's do that again. So I'm drawing in. So the rotation, am I fully weighted on the left foot before I rotate?
No,
I'm not. So
no.
I'm continuing to shift back as I rotate, and now I'm fully shifted back.
Yeah, because your step is empty. remember.
Right.
All steps are empty.
Right, so empty step,
Yeah. Now you fill it.
and I'm filling it this whole way.
Yes.
Now I'm fully back. Okay. I wasn't sure if I went all the way and then this was just rotation.
No.
All right. That answers that question. So then again, drawing in, continuing to shift and rotate. Okay.
So, um, what I would say is you were asking about the energy. So
Yeah.
in the first half, as you are stepping back,
Right.
that's Liu.
Yeah.
The second part has a number of possibilities, but I think it's best to think of it initially as G. It could be on,
Right.
but think of it as G to start with, because that's the clearest um, outward movement.
Right. Okay. I think, when I think of Lou, like in that initial part, I don't think of drawing it. I think of roll back and throwing away. That's why I think I was not drawing the arms in
It,
initially.
it may only be guiding away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a throw necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
Liu can be a very gentle movement in which um, I know it's here. There we go. In which you simply meet an incoming force and guide it past you.
Right. Right. Okay.
And it's simply matching that force, moving your body out of the way and guiding it past you.
Right.
That's one of the primary uses of it.
Yeah. That seems to be the use here for sure.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
And what that does is it often can cause your partner opponent to go off balance,
Right.
and then you can have control as you go into that next movement.
Right.
And that could be a throw, it could be a strike, it could be any number of things.
Right. It feels like you're kind of getting an arm lock almost,
Could be.
when you rotate back to center, like after you've rolled back.
That's another possibility.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I've told you I know about Stuart Olson's film demonstrating 50 applications of single whip.
Right.
It's just a good reminder that a posture doesn't have one application, it has many, many
Right.
applications.
Right. And it's good to hear some of them too, because usually I get one initial impression, but it's good to hear others that haven't really necessarily come to mind. It
Yeah.
helps me expand my awareness and not get me so quickly pigeonholed into one application or one type of energy for a posture.
Um, if you ever get a chance to see one of Bruce's, he's got a number of series of demonstrations of martial applications. One of the best was when he taught the Yang long form,
Right.
and he had one student, Olaf, who's very very focused on the martial aspect of Tai Chi. Not he's very good at other parts too, but
Right.
he's probably the one student that I know of who is really very martially oriented. and he did a whole section of martial applications of each posture after
Hmm.
teaching it, and showed several different possibilities.
Right. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, well, it just sort of opens up
Right.
what
Okay.
could happen.
Okay.
So, um, other questions?
No, that, between what we just did and what we did 15, 20 minutes ago, I had a lot of, as I mentioned, rotation questions, rising, sinking. I've just got to work on making them part of what I do.
Yeah.
Now that I know some of the answers. Um,
So I think it's really important for you, A, to relax your shoulders,
okay.
but B, to really think about where is the bend and stretch, the twisting in and out, the lengthening in and out of the opening and closing in each posture.
Right.
Because that um, often that defines the movement.
Right.
And if you're not clear about where those transitions are, then it's difficult, to coordinate all that together.
Right.
And that's only 4 of the 16 Negong.
Yeah. Okay.
So, um, so
You
why
want
don't
to just, do you want to just do a flow?
yeah,
You know,
I was going to say, why don't you do a flow and let me watch you?
all right. I will try and be aware of my camera visibility.
Well, yeah, do the best you can, but I understand the limitations.
Only because I have the camera as far back as I can.
Yep.
This is as far as I can go this way, so I can't get a broad view of it. All right.
So I'm going to stop you for a moment. And I want you to start again
Yep.
and really think about the scapula and forget your hands.
Okay.
Because I feel your hands leading those movements.
All right.
That's actually coming along very nicely, Jeff.
You stopping me at the beginning and reminding me about the scapula made all the difference. That was good. You're right. I was leading with the hands and I was focusing too much on the hands. And I told you that's going to be a problem of mine for a while.
Yeah.
So always tell me about it.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of very nice things coming together. You're doing good work with this. Couple of things.
Yep.
Let me change my camera. When you get to Peng and you're going to go to G, the difficult thing there is that you have to have another closing before you open for G. So as you come into Peng, the hands and everything are rotating and extending out, and then they have to come in and go back out again.
Okay. So that's just a small rotation or movement of the scapula to do that, right?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, it's funny when I just do that little bit, I can feel the pulsing in my fingertips.
Good, good.
Okay.
Um, be careful you're coming along quite nicely in cloud hands, but also be aware of keeping the arms rotating.
Mhm. Okay.
I mean, keeping the rotating or twist going on continually is difficult in this, but
Yeah, I, in spots, I just do it too quickly and then I run out of rotation by the time I get to here and I have to stop and wait and then start the rotation again. I find myself doing that a lot. You're right.
yeah.
It's,
Um, in gargoyles, it's sometimes I hate Zoom. Um, I wasn't sure. Do you have your fists palm to palm?
yeah, yeah. When we're doing these kicks, I know it's
Yep.
that. And in gargoyles, it's palm to palm.
Okay, good.
I think I do keep bringing them up too high though. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, yes.
The top hand is supposed to be below here. The
Yeah,
bottom.
it should be just at the base of the sternum, which is
Okay.
where your middle dantian, um, what one position of your middle dantian is.
Right. And the lower hand in that's by our lower dantian, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
So I think I tend to just keep going too high, I think.
Yep.
So I do have to
Yeah.
focus on that as well.
Just have to get them down there a little bit.
Right. I think at that point, because I'm focusing on extending just a little bit, but not overextending and I forget,
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, it needs to be extending out, not up.
Right. Yeah, I do both. That's the thing. I do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really the big thing. I can't see your legs
Yeah.
much, so it,
I can tell you with my legs, I definitely have to continue to work on not going past my dynamic limit. I do that all the time still.
well, good. I'm glad you're aware of that.
Yeah, I am. And, it's just, I have to, it's just moving less. It's shifting less. I am over shifting still on a
Yeah.
lot of this to get the body motion. And I just have to shift much slower and less.
Yep.
So that's an ongoing thing, kind of like, that has always been a problem of mine. And, as I mentioned, continuing to work from the scapula, I need reminders of that as well. So those are the two big things I'm gonna probably need reminders of for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
The one of the difficulties with focusing on the scapula is we tend to get into um, too much movement in the shoulder.
hmm,
So you really have to learn to keep the elbows relaxed through always, even though they're moving.
right,
They need to be relaxed so that it releases the shoulders and allows the energy to flow through to the scapula and the spine.
right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you were saying before, is I have to relax my shoulders.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I'm fine with stopping here. I think this is a good point. Um,
yeah, I think so.
Up to you.